Animal Crossing New Horizons is only just over a month away, and I couldn't help but think about the game. The game looks amazing, but even with that, I still couldn't help but think about what the possibilities for Animal Crossing could be, and what limits they could stretch to make this game the best that it could be. So this got me thinking about Animal Crossing in a new way that I had never even thought about before. What if we got an open world Animal Crossing game? The island that we already have for New Horizons looks pretty big and pretty large in scale, but what if we went bigger? And I'm talking a lot bigger, like Breath of the Wild bigger. With this in mind, I decided to make a video today showcasing what it would be like to have an open world Animal Crossing and what mechanics would change for the better. And I'm going to break them down into each category one by one and discuss each one with you in full detail. But in order to do this, we needed to reference one game to help us explain what this open world would be like. And one game works so perfectly. Yes, we will need Breath of the Wild. One awesome thing about Animal Crossing is you can set up your house in your town pretty much wherever you want, and it's cool to walk through the village and see all the different houses and residents, and you can see this in Breath of the Wild. You actually have a mission where you can build your own house. Now, obviously Link doesn't do the hard and dirty work, that's all up to this guy, but pretty much you're in charge of getting the materials in order to build your house, and that's how pretty much Animal Crossing works. Well, what if you could build your house your own, meaning chopping your own wood, getting your own materials, doing all of the dirty work, and also building the house? This is where crafting comes in. Crafting is going to be a big part of Animal Crossing New Horizons, as they already said, so what if crafting took a different approach? What if you actually had to make the house? There are step-by-step blueprints that you had to follow in order to build your house. Almost like a My Sims kind of simulator, but pretty much you'll start putting pieces of wood together, nailing certain things, and maybe button time presses in order to build your house correctly. And if you kind of mess up the process, your house may be a little lopsided or messed up, and you'll have to do renovations in order to fix it. Maybe a storm blows by, or something happens where pieces of your house are falling off. Maybe there was a tornado nearby, or a strong windstorm, or a hailstorm that knocked off the siding or the tiles on top of your roof, and you had to repair these things. And maybe you had to climb up on top of the roof and start repairing it, go out and get the necessary materials in order to repatch your house, and it would add more of that realistic vibe. Animal Crossing could also use a dose of realism, and Breath of the Wild surprisingly does this really well. When you chop down trees, it really takes a while to get it down, and when it falls, you can still chop down the remaining wood to get your pieces of wood, which is pretty realistic, like I said before. You can do this with bushes and everything else to pick up certain twigs and stuff to help you craft your weapons or whatever you need to craft. And I think that's exactly what they need to do here. You need to be able to chop down trees and branches in a more realistic type of way. And crafting materials for houses and stuff is not the only thing that you're going to be able to do. It'd be awesome to be able to craft food as well. Maybe your villager has to continue to eat in order to stay healthy. In Breath of the Wild, you eat to gain health after taking damage, so maybe you can eat in order, just to stay healthy. Maybe each and every day you have to eat 1 or 2 meals in order to keep your villager doing well. If you don't, he'll get really slow and sluggish and move around, kind of lazy-like. In order for him to do a lot of work, you're just going to have to keep feeding him. And that would be something to, once again, enhance the gameplay of not only your town and area, but your villager. Now, if we're talking about fishing, I don't think Breath of the Wild is the greatest choice here. So I decided to think more along the lines of Twilight Princess, where there's a lot of things that go into fishing. You gotta find the right lure, you gotta know exactly how to reel in and when to play with the fish and bob it up and down, and to know exactly how hard to pull. If there's a big fish, it might break the line, and there's a lot that goes into fishing. You also can get in a boat or go around the entirety of the lake, where in Animal Crossing is mainly confined to you see the silhouette of the fish in the water, you walk up to it, throw in your lure, and you catch your fish. Now, it'd be really cool to kind of have your own bait, maybe putting it on a line, looking for specific fish. Maybe there's a giant array of fish in this game, kind of like Breath of the Wild. Maybe there's some mythical legendary giant fish that comes every blue moon or maybe once a month or something like that you can look forward to catching, and there's rumors around town about the fish and you can prepare for it all month long. Well, now that you have this giant world to explore, I'm sure finding bugs is going to be a lot harder as well. In Animal Crossing, they're kind of different colors, and they look pretty much, they stand out, is what I'm trying to say, from the rest of the world. And it'd be a lot harder in a giant world full of grass and trees trying to find these bugs, and that's the purpose. It's a lot harder to find these bugs, which makes it more fun. You'll have all types of bugs, from locusts, mosquitoes, butterflies, moths, grasshoppers, all of them jumping through the wild, and you'll have to find them. Now, Now, since this is going to be a pretty big world, maybe it'll incorporate some bigger bugs, some bigger critters such as a giant tarantula or something like that, and that would be kind of fun to find. Maybe you're looking for some giant tarantula inside of a cave, and you're going in the dark, and you have to light a torch or something to see where you're going, and stuff like this can be really fun when it comes to finding bugs. It's not just running over the overworld, oh, I found a mosquito. Maybe sometimes you got to look for specific bugs, and there's specific bug routes that you got to take, such as, like I said, caves or mining facilities. One last thing that I thought of that would make Animal Crossing a lot of fun is, since you have this giant world, you obviously have to have different vehicles. Now, Villager's not running around on the Master Cycle 0. It's not happening. So what he's gonna have is pretty much, once again, crafting opportunities. Maybe you can craft a boat and go down the river, or maybe you can craft some type of water plane, as we can see in the trailer for New Horizons. Maybe there's just some types of ways you can get around. Maybe the glider is something that's also part of Villager's moveset here, where he can get into the plane and jump out and land on the island with a parachute. So there's just different options and different opportunities that you can have to travel around the terrain. I think it would be so much fun to run around an island with tons of your friends. Now, you can already do this, they said, in Animal Crossing New Horizons, but imagine a giant island the size of Breath of the Wild. You guys can all jump in on the island online whenever you want, and you're all on the same island doing things. Maybe you're in a region so far that you have to take a plane to get to compared to your friend or something. So this is exactly what I would love to see. Or maybe you guys build your own separate islands you need to take planes to get to, or ride boats to get over to the next island. But the possibilities are endless, man. I just really think a Animal Crossing open world could be super beneficial for the series. It could be something new that we have never seen before. But of course, like always, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this, I will touch each and every topic individually in a whole video dedicated to how each topic can be improved. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe if you guys are new. It helps me out so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.